The fact that women in every industry have to always do a little extra to get the recognition. You have to always do a little, you have to try more than what it is required. It's always that extra.
You know, from the 90s, from when I started to where it is today. Being part of it is a big accomplishment to be. Many women cricketers in the past have travelled unreserved train journeys to today where we travel business class from...
They showed it in the film.
From a time where we were not paid, there was absolutely no money, to being centrally contracted players. I think women's cricket has its own journey. I had a small part to play, and that is my accomplishment.
I really don't know if what can I really call accomplishment, because once you set a goal and then you achieve it, you feel like, okay, we have another goal, so another goal to accomplish. So I think so far the biggest accomplishment as an actor will be when I feel that audience blindly trusts me, that if I've taken up a subject, a film, it is worth their time and money. I will only tag that as an accomplishment. So that is now to the audience to tell me if I've really achieved it or no. We met each other in Bangalore.
In fact, we met much before that. I remember in Chennai, we met for an award function, though that time it was, the movie was nowhere.
Yeah.
But that is the first time that I met Taapsee. When the movie was announced, we met in Bangalore. And I found her exactly opposite of me. Chirpy, a lot of energy, and there I was quiet, just trying to gauge, understand her, and she was quite chirpy.
That has been the biggest challenge thrown at me to portray Mithali on screen. I was like, I'm anything but her in terms of demeanor. But I guess what really, where I took up notice of her, her journey beyond cricket. I mean, you know her as a cricketer, but what I really noticed was when that question she answered about who's your favorite male cricketer, I think that is what really made me take notice of her beyond just being a cricketer. Because this is one question that I've been facing since the time I've started acting. We've been asked in every interview, which male actor would you like to be paired opposite or work with till date. But I've not really seen many male actors being asked this question. So that instantly connected me with her ideology in some way. And yes, we did meet at an event, and then later on when I met her, I was just telling someone that I'm very starstruck with sports stars. I'm not really starstruck with actors because I have not really grown up watching a lot of films. I've started watching films pretty late during college days, but I've been following sports a lot since my school days, and different kinds of sports. So when I see a sports star in front of me, I get a little starstruck, and I'm always like, I hope I don't trespass a line, and I hope, like, you know, I don't, being the chirpy self that I am, I might just say things that without thinking that I don't know how the other person will take. So I'm very conscious when I have a sports star around me. So I was very mindful of the fact that she's around, and I just hope that I put a good first impression. Otherwise she'll be like, why is she playing me? I think for me it's destiny's, I'm a destiny's child in terms of being an actor. I've never really planned this career for myself. I just happened to experiment with my life where I got an offer. I said, let me just try, maybe I'll learn something at Max, otherwise I'll come and do my MBA. So it just so happened that I started taking, you know, when life throws lemons that you make lemonade, I kind of followed that funda. I follow it till date. So I just made the most of that opportunity, and here I am. So I really don't think that I planned this too well. I just enjoyed the journey of this unplanned life I have almost every day. That, oh, am I in the right field? Am I doing good enough? Am I in the right direction? So all these doubts, being an actor, you're only as good as your last Friday. So always very tentative in this field. So I'm forever doubtful.
Of course, I think even I've had many occasions where I doubted the choice that I made of choosing cricket over dance. But I think, as she rightly said, even I'm someone, you know, it was not a planned career move by my parents or by me. It just happened, and but I guess my conviction in my goal was far more bigger than my self-doubt. And here I am. I've managed to play for so many years, and at different occasions, yes, there have been doubts. You know, I chose cricket over dance. Will I get to play for India? And if I played for India, will I be the main player? Will I ever, you know, get to represent India in the World Cup? So these were the constant doubts that, as an athlete, you know, you come across. But if you have the courage and the strength to pursue the goal and the vision that you set for yourself, you know, it has to be larger than your self-doubt to go on.
Actually, when I was in my college itself, I got really inspired by Indira Nui. When I got to know about her, it was quite like that to be at that position, Indian background woman, it just caught my attention. So I really didn't have idols beyond, like, I didn't have idols in film industry at that point because I never really planned my life. I wanted to do my MBA, so hence Indira Nui at that point. And as and when every step I took ahead in this field, the more knowledge I started to get about different fields, and the fact that women in every industry have to always do a little extra to get the recognition. You have to always do a little, you have to try more than what it is required. It's always that extra. So I think that's when I started appreciating, acknowledging a lot of women, be it Mithali, be it a lot of other women in my industry itself who probably have had a recall value today, is because they did it extra from what it was required to reach that position.
For me, my mother has been an inspiration because as a young kid who started cricket very early, even though she wanted me to pursue dance, she's never stopped me from pursuing cricket. She's given you know, all her efforts in you know, turning me into a cricketer I am. You know, she sacrificed her career. She was a working woman. She sacrificed her career. She's done a lot of things, and she doesn't know much about cricket, but I think she's been a very honest person when it came to judging me as a cricketer. She's been that, you know, she never shies away from giving a criticism the way I look on the screen when they show me bat. She doesn't say anything about batting, but she says that look is not good. Why are you wearing? why are you tucking your shirt so in? So. She's a very honest person, and my dance teacher has been an inspiration to me. I remember in the 80s and the 90s, not many women used to drive these huge cars, but she's a very independent lady way back in those days, and she would drive down, and I would watch her and think that, you know, one day I will be as independent as her. So she's been my inspiration. I think it's a very simple principle that I apply is I have a goal, and I would rather do what is right with a lot of conviction in it than to sort of think about people's expectations. Of course, when you play at the highest level, people do expect you to do well. It is a very natural thing. But I think if we start to give a lot more importance to people's expectation, then the very purpose of you going out there and performing would, dilute. So I think it's important that you, realize what is your purpose, and if you do well, I'm sure it correlates to the expectation of people, and you find a balance. You do well, the people's expectations. You live up to people's expectation.
I really envy sports stars in this particular way, because they a lot of time people expect the stars, sun, moon from them, but all they have to do is just give their best, which they do every time they start playing or whichever sport they are in. And they are beyond a point, probably they don't have to keep appeasing the people. They have to make sure they give their best, and the people will get appeased with that. That's all. But I get really envious of them, because being an actor, you have to half the time keep thinking about pleasing everyone. And it's impossible to please 100% people. It's impossible task. No matter how much even if I give my best, there might be a bunch of people who wouldn't really appreciate, acknowledge that fact, and their opinion matters in a field like mine, because they are the ones buying the ticket to watch my film. They are the one deciding my fate eventually. So for actors, we really can't say that, okay, it doesn't really matter what people expect us to do, and we can keep doing whatever we want to do. This is one balance that each and every actor in this industry is striving and struggling to achieve. I can't say confidently that I've achieved it. I am not even sure if I'll ever achieve it. I'll sometimes be dwindling towards this side, sometimes that side. But for me, it's very difficult to say one has to find a balance, and you have to, and you will soon, or I have. I don't think I can give an answer to this safely, being an actor. Most of the time, our fate is in the hands of people.
Well, see, when it comes to women's cricket, a lot of people think that the girls don't have the strength to clear the boundary and hit sixers at a frequent pace. So I think that is something I've come across quite frequently.
I don't know what is unpopular opinion in everything is very, most of the things that are unpopular about being a female actor is true. We are paid less. We do have lesser screens for showcasing our films. We once in a blue moon get an opportunity to have collections at par with men, because there are big actors' films that sandwich our films. Most of these unpopular opinions are true. We are almost like child of the lesser god. There'll be light at the end of the tunnel. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I think it's quite easy to get inspired, but when women, when their backs are against the wall, I think they should have the courage to look for inspiration within them. They're stronger than they think they are, and that's how you look at any challenges. And life is full of challenges, otherwise it gets boring.
It's too boring, yeah. Why don't be the first one? You always keep thinking, this hasn't happened before, so, why should we bother? Okay, this is not really the path that meant, because nobody has followed this path, so why don't you do it? It's always that first step that we keep holding ourselves from thinking that it's not supposed to be the step that we are supposed to take. So I think that those boundaries that we make up for ourselves, we need to shatter those first, and then sky is the limit. Hi, this is Taapsee.
Hi, this is Mithali, and you're watching us on Femina.
Please like, share and subscribe.